In a world where the laws of physics have taken a cruel and literal turn, emotions are no longer invisible ghosts haunting the mind. They are physical burdens that press down on the scales. It began with the Great Gravitational Shift, a day when the medical community realized that chronic depression wasn't just a feeling, it was an extra 40 pounds of leaden mass resting in the chest cavity. Elias, a weary but brilliant physicist, lives in the center of this heavy reality. Working as a lead calibrationist, his job is to weigh people before they enter public spaces, ensuring that their internal emotional cargo doesn't exceed the structural safety limits of buildings or transport. In this society, the light are the elite, the joyful, the carefree, and the wealthy who can afford pharmaceutical lighteners, while the heavy are the outcasts, forced to live in reinforced bunkers on the ground floors of the city. Elias spends his days watching people step onto his high-precision scales. He sees grieving widows who weigh as much as small cars, their sorrow pulling them into a permanent slouch. He sees children who are light as feathers, floating almost off the ground with pure curiosity. But Elias himself is a mystery. Despite the loss of his wife years ago and the crushing solitude of his life, his scale always reads 0. He carries no weight. He is a weightless, a rare and feared condition that the government monitors closely. They believe the weightless are sociopaths, men who feel nothing and therefore add nothing to the world's gravity. Elias keeps his head down, hiding behind his lab coat, but his secret is far more complex than a simple lack of empathy. The intrigue deepens when a woman named Clara enters his station. She is a famous dancer, known for her gravity-defying performances, but when she steps onto Elias's scale, the needle slams into the red zone. She weighs 500 pounds. Physically, she is slender and graceful, but her emotional mass is astronomical. Elias is stunned. How can she move? How can she dance when her heart carries the weight of a dying star? He begins to investigate her in secret. Risking his position at the Calibration Bureau, he discovers that Clara isn't carrying her own weight. She is a sponge, a person with a genetic mutation that allows them to absorb the emotional mass of others. She has been taking on the heaviness of the city's elite, allowing them to remain light and powerful while she slowly crushes under the accumulated pressure of 1,000 strangers' anxieties. Elias realizes that the government isn't just monitoring the weight, they are harvesting it. They have developed a way to convert concentrated emotional mass into a new form of dark energy to power the city's floating skyscrapers. The light aren't just lucky, they are predators, and the heavy are the batteries. Driven by a spark of feeling he hasn't felt in years, Elias decides to help Clara. He uses his knowledge of physics to build a localized anti-gravity field, a device disguised as a locket that will allow her to walk without being crushed by the weight of the city. As they grow closer, Elias's own scale finally begins to move. He isn't weightless because he is empty. He is weightless because he has been subconsciously repelling the world, pushing away the gravity of existence to protect himself from the pain of his past. The unexpected twist occurs during the Grand Gala, the night the city celebrates the inauguration of its newest, highest floating spire. Clara is set to perform, her locket keeping her secretively light. Elias watches from the wings, but the sensors in the building go haywire. The government's energy harvesters have detected a massive, sudden influx of weight. Elias assumes they have found Clara, but the scanners aren't pointing at her, they are pointing at the audience. He realizes that the light elite have been living a lie. Their joy was artificial, and the device Elias built for Clara didn't just lighten her, it broadcasted her absorbed weight back to its original owners. In a terrifying instant, the emotional mass of 1,000 people returns to them all at once. The transition is violent. The floating spire, suddenly burdened by millions of tons of returned sorrow and guilt, begins to groan. People who were sipping champagne a moment ago are now pinned to the floor, unable to lift their heads as the crushing reality of their own lives hits them. The building begins to fall. In the chaos, Elias reaches for Clara, but as he touches her, the final truth is revealed. Clara wasn't a victim, she was the architect. She is a high-ranking agent of a revolutionary group that seeks to bring the city down. She used Elias to create the weight broadcaster because his unique zero-mass signature was the only frequency that could bypass the city's filters. As the spire plunges toward the earth, Clara looks at Elias with a mixture of pity and triumph. She isn't heavy anymore. She is the lightest person in the room. She floats toward the ceiling as the floor drops away. Elias, however, feels a sudden, agonizing pressure. The device hasn't just sent the weight back to the owners, it has used Elias as a conduit. Every ounce of the city's collective suffering is now passing through his body. He becomes the heaviest object on the planet, but he doesn't break. In the final seconds before impact, Elias realizes that weight isn't just a burden, it's a connection. He closes his eyes and, for the first time, embraces the total mass of human experience. The screen goes black just as the building hits the ground, not with a crash of stone, but with a silent, earth-shaking thud of pure, concentrated emotion. The final image is a shot of a single scale in the ruins, its needle spinning wildly between 0 and infinity.